Today's video is brought to you by the Ansel MR500 diagnostic tool.
I got my good parts bin there with my clean rags, so I can put things away nice and neat, keep them clean. I think these are the two bolts that he said he had broken when he went to pull it apart. And Healy coil. I mean, look at the water jackets. I mean, it's beautiful. So he's already cleaned off, looks like, the exhaust plate, and I see a Healy coil here. And it looks like he did a really nice job on his Healy coil too. This guy knows what he's doing. And this is cleaned up already too. He's done half the work for me. Well, not half the work, but he's done some of the work for me here. So this is going to have to be a little discounted rate for this build. I know he'll be happy to hear that. So we can check a little further now that this is apart. And we can rotate and I can look inside at my piston walls, right, and my rings. So let's get this apart the rest of the way. And it's going to start with, whoa, me getting a new back. Let's get this down. And we'll get this apart. A nice little parts bin here that's clean for nuts and bolts. See, Marty cares. He put covers on all of these lead lines. He put little plastic booties on. He taped up where the carburetors went, so he didn't get any crap in it during transportation. This guy thinks like me. I'm going to go ahead and loosen the bearing cap bolts too. Might as well get them out now. Everything is so clean. Nice to work on newer motors. Take the bottom one off too. We'll probably get a full gasket set for this, just like we do with Brad's motor. This way we can do all the seals and everything that could be possibly leaking. I'll go ahead and take his tape off of here. Nice and clean. Now this got broken in his shipping and handling, so I'll let him know about that, and he'll have to decide how he wants to handle that repair. I think that's all of them for this, so we'll take our mallet. Oh, you do have to take all the bolts out for it to come off properly. Gasket nice and clean. Reed plates look all good. I'm going to have to bring you down here and show you what we're going to do next. So this is nice and clean. He did, looks like on the way here, maybe it rolled over or something and he broke this one little tab off, so that's going to have to be repaired. That's just a press fit in there, and I'll ask him if he wants to tackle that or if he wants to do something else. In the past I have drilled these, and this is the time to do it, right? We can pull this gasket off and we can get to the back. It just goes through to a hole here, and we can. I've drilled this out before and just tapped it with a little 1/8 inch tap or even smaller, and then put a little barb fitting in there. So we'll put that aside. This is for our oil shaft, our that's the technical term. It's for our oil pump. So let's tear into the rest of this. Looks like we got some 14 millimeters and some 12 millimeters. I don't know what I did with my other ratchet, but guess we'll use this one. Take our little bracket off that holds our fuel filter, so we can access the rest of these bolts. So I'm seeing fresh red sealer in here. So this motor has definitely been apart. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Kind of makes me a little nervous because I don't know what someone else did. Look at this, he put a couple of nuts on here to protect those threads. I actually really love these motors. I hope this doesn't have something else wrong with it. Now, there is an aligning pin on this, so I want to go slowly. And there's a couple places to put a screwdriver, but I do not want to mar up the surfaces. I just want to give it a little bit. Right in the middle here, there's a spot where it won't mar up the surfaces if you use the screwdriver. All right. Pretty clean, but it's definitely new sealer around there because it still has some gumminess. Of course, it may still have some gumminess from 20 years ago? I guess that's a possibility. Let's go deeper. I'm going to put my rag in this bin so that when I drop the crankshaft in, it's going to stay nice and clean and wrapped up. There's really thick oil in here. What's up with that? Seal looks to be a little rippled too, like maybe some chemical got in here that wasn't supposed to be. This O-ring is definitely expanded. See how it's comes right up like that? Interesting. Even these O-rings are expanded. Got some tape on the shaft here, and the nut's still on. I don't think it'll come off with the nut on it. Keyway is missing, so I'm assuming he has that, and I'm willing to bet he does because of what else I see here. I think that those rubber O-rings are pinched in there. I can see them moving around. And I think that's holding me up. So I think I'm going to wait and get the rest of these connecting rod bolts off first. And then we'll go ahead and take that off after we get all these connecting rod bolts off. We'll take these pistons out one by one. Now if you remember, I like to label my pistons in the same orientation that they went in. They come out. I want them to go back in. So let's make sure we work together on this, people. And I'm now going to switch to my other gloves. Yeah, that O-ring's expanded. Something's up here. Something's definitely up here. I'm going to have to get a clean spot here. On my bench. To put these down, this is where we had all our clean parts for assembly for the last motor. Alright, so cap off, keeping it in the same orientation. Bearing. This bearing, the journal looks good. Let's pop this one out. Now I'm going to go ahead and, before I get all rambunctious, I'm going to go ahead and put this one together here and put it right back together the same orientation that it came off. I'm going to use some green tape on this one. That other tape seemed to stick to things. So I know it's the port side, and I know it has the orientation and it has up, so I don't have to really label which one it came off of because all that's already there. So I'll just tape it up so that we can keep it together, and we'll wrap it up inside the box. So everything stays the same way it came out. So I'm going to label this one bottom because I know it's the port side because it's got a P on the piston. So I'm just going to put a B on it for bottom. Let's get the next one out. Everything rotates. See how this is loose here? Everything rotates nicely. I wonder what so possibly he was running some kind of chemical through the engine, something that caused it to make those expand. Different kind of oil maybe or something. Put this right back together, same way it came off. So no need to label that one because, well, I'll put T on it for top because just because. We'll take a close look at this one. Other than, you know, some minimal carbon buildup, don't see any scoring or anything. So let's get the next two out. It's getting a little warm in here. Let's turn the temperature down. Wow, that one's really in there. I need my longer handle ratchet. Where is it? Now I got some leverage. Let's go ahead and loosen up the other one too so it's ready to go. I want to inspect this crankshaft really good too. Don't want Marty spending any more money than he has to. Again, putting these all lined up the same way that they come out. Journals look good. Not seeing anything crazy that's jumped out at me yet. This one is a starboard side bottom, so it should have an S on the piston. And it does. 6R511. I wonder if that's standard size or not. We'll have to look that up. We'll measure the block, see where it's at. Bottom. All right, last piston. Looking at the journals, looking at my gear for my, it's like a brass gear for my oil pump. Nice and clean, don't see any damage. Cap. Needle bearing. Needle bearing. Piston. Put everything back the way it came off. Get some tape on that. We'll label that one top. T for top. All right. And some blow by, but nothing crazy. Let's pull our crankshaft out. Give it a little Schockenheimer. You do have that center bearing that might, yeah, the bottom part of that center bearing is going to stay there. So that's okay. I want to keep that aligned the same way. So we'll put that aside. And now we got that off. And we can go ahead and pull our top bearing carrier off and see how my O-rings are expanded. Right, they just kind of popped right out of there. It's making me think of what happened here. I'm going to go ahead and put this center bearing back together so that it stays in the same orientation when we put it back together. And we'll take this crankshaft. Bottom bearing looks good. Doesn't feel loose. Journals all look good. Let's take Mr. Crankshaft and we'll pack him up nice and neat so he stays clean. And we'll take a look at our block here. I'm going to go ahead and pull my gear out and a little O-ring seal. I'll put that aside. Make sure that stays nice and clean. I think he did say that someone added oil to it to try and fix it or something. I don't know. I don't know, dude. All right, let's give it a little flip. It's a lot lighter now. And we'll get some of that oil out of it. And now let's look really closely and see. Now it was the lower cylinder. Make sure we don't see anything cracked, which I do not. Now that the pistons are out, let's see if we see something else in the lower cylinder that looks amiss. I don't know, seems like there's a lot of blow-by or something. What's up with that? Not on this side, but this side looks like it was honed here. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. Bring you in a little closer. All right, the next episode we'll bring you a little closer, show you those cylinder walls, and then we're going to measure our piston wall clearance. We're going to get our micrometer out, and we're going to measure what the piston wall clearance is now, what the ring gap is now, and see what did someone do to this motor and why did they pull it apart and hone those, just these two cylinders. So we'll do that in the next episode. Please like, subscribe, send me any comments that you have, and let me know what your thoughts are on rebuilding a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke motor. Have a great day.